Hey guys, quick video. It's Drew here. I wanted to do another part two as to why I'm supporting Donald Trump. And there's many reasons why I'm doing that. Before I start that though, I want to kind of get into the context of why I think this way. In general, today in this society right now, the way I see it is that a lot of people don't respect producers. They respect the journalists, they respect the bloggers, they respect the career politicians, but they don't respect people who actually go out and do things. They don't realize that politicians, bloggers, journalists, activists, they wouldn't have any kind of prominence, or they wouldn't even have any kind of importance whatsoever if it wasn't for the doers, the people who actually produce products, services, jobs, and create corporations, people who actually make moves, people who actually create content and create things. They wouldn't have any jobs if it wasn't for these people. And I think, therefore, the producer is superior to the critic. And I think that's what makes the producer superior to the critic. So that being said, Trump is a producer, okay? And if you look at his competition, not on the Republican side, but on the Democrat side, they are career politicians. Trump is a producer. Now, let me get into why I like Donald Trump, okay? I like Donald Trump because he has a consistent history of doing things in greatly loud, successful, and, just job well done fashion. He's a doer that gets things done well, okay? And I know what you're going to bring up next. You're going to bring up his 4 bankruptcies because you're short-sighted and you don't see the bigger picture, okay? He has had over 500 businesses, okay? 4 bankruptcies out of 500 businesses. You know what kind of success rate that is? That's a 99%, over a 99% success rate. Is there anything in your life that you do at that kind of success rate? I'm saying anything good, anything positive in your life that you do at a 99% success rate? No. Okay, so that's a phenomenal accomplishment. The fact that, and now what's the next thing you're going to say about Donald Trump? Oh, he was raised with money. Yeah, but he turned the money into billions of dollars, and it's not just that. A lot of people say, oh, I could do that. That's not true. There's a lot of trust fund babies out there, and they're not producing, or they're not moving like Donald Trump. So not only that, Trump has another guy on his team that I really highly respect, which is Carl Icahn. Carl Icahn is taking on AIG, which, if you guys are not familiar, is is probably the biggest insurance company in the world, actually. And AIG was actually complicit, and they were implicated in the 2008 financial crisis. He's actually acquired a large stake in AIG. This is Carl Icahn we're talking about. Acquired a large stake in AIG and has plans to break it up. Now, Donald Trump is taking on outsourcing. These are both things that would bring wealth into the country. I'm not saying that they're going to redistribute wealth. That they're not socialists. They're not like the Bernie Sanders type. But they are making moves that would bring wealth into the country and make this place like a good place to do business and to build your own wealth. That's the whole point. That's why people used to come to America. So if you look at what Donald Trump did with Ford originally planned to build a $1 billion plant in Mexico. And this was what Trump had, this is why Trump had so many gripes with Mexico. This is one of the reasons. And Trump brought light to it, and Ford is supposed to be, this all-American brand. So Trump brought this into the light, and all of a sudden, now Ford wants to actually build, well, not wants to, they're going to build that plant in Ohio instead. So Trump is not even president, and he's already making waves. He's already making moves. He's already getting billion-dollar companies to bend to his will. Now, there's one thing that you guys really don't understand about Donald Trump, and that is that this guy is the master of the art of the deal. Like, you don't get it. You're underestimating him because, he grew up with opportunities that you don't have, and he has the kind of money that you don't have, and his children are well raised, and they went to great schools, and he comes and he's representative of American privilege, and it pisses you off. But that's not a good attitude to have. So what, you're going to support Bernie Sanders because he makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside? Because he represents a working man, or he represents, the guy who never wins? Why would you want a guy like that leading the most powerful country in the world? I guess economically and I guess militarily. Why would you want a guy like that leading one of the most powerful countries in the world? I certainly don't. I want somebody who has had, or who has shown that they're able to manage great power and great responsibility. And Donald Trump has shown that. You know what? You know how much damage he could do with the billions of dollars that he has? But instead, he's built great buildings and he's done great projects. Has he had some hiccups along the way? Of course, but who wouldn't? You know, and the whole point is this. If you're out there and you're comparing Donald Trump to a celebrity like Kanye West or a celebrity like Lady Gaga, you're a moron, because Donald Trump has been completely manipulating and controlling politicians his entire life. And not only that, his entire campaign is self-funded. And you know, I have a friend that actually called up and they said that they wanted to be part of the Trump campaign. Trump didn't ask them for any money. Trump just asked them, you know, what kind of skills do you bring to the table? Well, how would you benefit the campaign? He's not even asking for any money. But most of the money that he is getting from outside sources is coming from smaller donors, from individuals, the silent majority. So I'm one of those silent majority. I really do support Donald Trump. And it's not about whether I think he's going to save black people. If you know the mentality of a conservative, we're not looking for anybody to save us. You know, I'm a conservative because and pretty much a libertarian because I want the government to leave me alone. I want the government to leave me alone to my own devices so I can build in this country without them cutting themselves in on everything I want to do. That's why I'm a conservative, you know, because I believe in my skills and my talents, and I don't want any extra things from them. I just want, the only thing I expect as a conservative is a strong national defense, which Donald Trump supports, strong borders, which Donald Trump supports, you know, and then people ask me, okay, why do you support strong borders? Well, because, you know, I'm, you know, as not even just as a minority, but in general, it's like you either have a country or you don't. You know, when you have open borders and people just pour into the country, they change the landscape of the country. They change the demographics of the country. You know, this country is run a certain way, but if you have people that come from collectivist cultures and they completely bombard the country with their population, the culture of the country is going to change. And not for nothing, I don't like collectivism. I'm not into socialism. I'm not into that stuff. But there's a lot of cultures that are. And they come into this country and they want to impose what they left, what they ran away from. They come to this country, they take advantage of the opportunities here, and then they want to convert this country over to what they left and what they ran from. That's not what it's about. I mean, you should come here and you should want to take advantage of the opportunities here and also somewhat assimilate. I'm not saying you should lose your culture or lose your traditions, but I think you should assimilate if you're going to live here. Because if you were to go to another country and you were to violate their cultural principles, in some countries they chop your hands and your heads off. So that's just the way I look at it. Now, Donald Trump is, I think, representative of like the American, you know, not just the American dream, but American privilege and American supremacy and American greatness, American exceptionalism. Donald Trump really represents that. And the fact that so many people on the left hate him just goes to show what they feel about American exceptionalism. They don't feel like it should exist. You know, if Donald Trump makes you mad, if his success makes you mad, if his kids being raised well makes you mad, if his privilege makes you mad, it says more about you than it does about him. It just says that you need a loser to represent you so you can feel comfortable. You know, but if you know anything about success and achieving greatness, it's not about being comfortable. In fact, in the game of success, in the game of power, it's never about being comfortable. It's about being uncomfortable and getting out of your comfort zone and actually going for what you want in life. That's what it really is about. And Donald Trump is representative of that. Now, it doesn't mean that he didn't grow up with opportunities that are greater than the average person. Of course he did. But the fact of the matter is that he took those opportunities and he turned them into something phenomenal. And he says that I can do that for myself. I'll do it for the country. And I believe him. You know why? Because he's executed move after move after move for 20 years, over 20 years. He's not some stranger like Obama. He didn't just pop up on the scene. You know, he didn't just get a battery put in his back and all of a sudden made all these promises. He's been doing it for over 20 years, okay? Bernie Sanders, in contrast, has been in politics for so long, and I can't name one major achievement of his. But with Trump, it's like all over the place. It's in your face. You know who Donald Trump is. You've seen it. You've seen the success that he's produced, and he's saying, I'm going to do this for the country, you know? And people say, oh, no, Donald Trump just wants to make himself richer. It's not about money with this guy. You don't understand. People like these people, they have higher things that drive them. The money is a byproduct of the higher things that drive them. Donald Trump is obsessed with stamping and putting his name on a job well done. Read his books, watch his history. It's consistent. He's obsessed with turning ugly things into beautiful things and putting his name on it. And you know what? If he could do that with this country, so be it. He deserves all the vanity and he deserves all the, all the ego boosting that he may be seeking. I don't know, but it seems that his self-interests are in line with the interests of, the better interests of the country. And then Carl Icahn, same thing. These guys actually want to see the country do better. So it's like, they have skills. They're some of the most talented people in the world at what they do. Why not put these beasts? Why not have these beasts in your corner? Why not have these beasts leading the country? Why not? They're some of the brightest minds in the world. And you want to throw in Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, some career politicians that haven't really done much in their careers? Why? It's just like such a waste of time, and it's such a waste of effort and energy. And you know what? I support Donald Trump. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm a black man. I'm a Donald Trump supporter. I'm voting him. I'm voting him. I'm voting for him. I'm voting him in. And at the end of the day, regardless of what you guys say out there, and regardless of how you disagree with me, my decision is an educated decision. That I can point to so many different reasons why I support this guy. And that's the fact of the matter. That's what it is.